Hello, fellow duelists. This is Shadow of the Moon, and today I'm going to be showing you an updated deck profile of my Harpie Lady deck for July of 2023. And this deck hasn't really. I actually ended up changing a few things around in here and making it a lot more consistent. But overall, since there hasn't really been any support other than the Fearsome Fire Blast card that we got a couple years ago or so, 2-3 years ago, there hasn't been much support for it. So I do the best I can, and just keep in mind this deck is a lot of fun to play. Just being able to spam different special summon level 4 monsters of the field to be able to go into your crazy plays. And I'm actually going to be showing a combo video on this, so stay tuned for that, coming out later this week. So without any further ado, finally, let's go ahead and dive straight on into the deck profile. So first off, for this build, I am playing, since I do play the Unexpected Die card, I am playing 3 copies of the original Harpie Lady. This is very easy to get out on the field. You just play Unexpected Die. You control no monsters. You can special summon a level 4, basically normal monster from your deck, meaning this thing right here. And this helps you go into a lot of your plays. And then one of the best cards in this deck is obviously Harpie Chandler. Harpie Chandler is just crazy good, because Harpie Chandler basically allows you to discard a Harpie card to special summon a Harpie monster directly from the deck. And why that is so good is if you special summon a level 7, this card will become a level 7. So if you special summon Fearsome Fire Blast, it's become a level 7. And then if you special summon a Perfumer, that lets you add another Elganegatus from your deck to your hand to be able to keep going into your play. So this card is very good, and is one of the best cards very easily in this deck. And then we have 3 copies of Perfumer. Perfumer, this card is on World Special Summon. You can add a Harpie card that lists Harpie Lady Sisters from your deck to your hand. And if you control level 6 or higher Harpie monster, you can actually add a second one. So you would add Harpie's Eternal Rest. But this card is really good because of being able to add Elganegatus from your deck to your hand to speed up the deck and to go into a lot of your plays. Alright, so now we have 2 copies of Harpie Oracle. Harpie Oracle, if you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And when this card is normal special summoned, you can, at the end phase of the turn, you can basically add Elganegatus back from your graveyard to your hand. So that works really well with the deck. And then 1 copy of Harpie Queen, mainly in here for the Harpie name, and also because you discard this to add Harpie's Hunting Ground from the deck to your hand. You are playing 2 different field spells in this deck. You're going to be playing the Simorgh, Sacred Land of the Simorgh cards, and you're also going to be playing the Harpie's Hunting Ground. So now we've got 3 copies, obviously, of your Harpie's Pet Dragon, Fearsome Fire Blast. This card is really good because it allows you to send a Harpie, or send a Wind monster from your deck to the graveyard when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard. So if it's not used as like Exceed material, if it's used as Link material, this card can be used to be able to add another monster from to your graveyard. But obviously the important thing is that it's a level 7, being able to go into your rank 7 plays. And also, if you have Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, this makes it to where that card is basically indestructible. It cannot be just destroyed by battle or by card effects, so it's the 3K, and also will have an additional effect. Alright, so now that's going to be it for the Harpie part of the deck. Now we're going to move on to the tech card. So we've got 3 copies of Simorgh Bird of Perfection. This card is really good in this deck because the object is when you normal special summon a monster, you can reveal this card to special summon this card from your hand, and then from there you can choose to banish another Simorgh card from your deck to be able to add the field spell Sacred Land of the Simorghs from your deck to your hand. Play that, and then from there you'll be able to have an additional normal summon. So this card works very well in this deck. And then for the hand traps, obviously 3 Effect Veiler. You don't have to play Effect Veiler. If you have Ash, you can play Ash, whatever you choose. I'm just using Effect Veiler because it's what's available. And that's going to be it for the monsters. So obviously you're not running a whole lot of monsters. So now we're going to be going on to the spells and traps. So obviously 3 Elganegatus. This is self-explanatory. Special summon a Harpie or Harpie Lady Sisters from your hand or deck. And then you've got 3 Hysteric Signs. When this card is activated, you can add a Elganegatus card from your deck to your hand, and not on the same turn. If this card gets destroyed, but not on the same turn that you used the first effect, you can add up to 3 Harpie cards from your deck to your hand. So that is really good. And then you've got 1 Harpie's Hunting Ground. You've got Eternal Rest for extra draw power, and then you've got your Harpie's Feather Duster in here to kind of wipe your opponent's backfield. And then for the other cards, 2 Unexpected Die. I did cut these down to 2. I don't remember if I did that in the last video or not, if I did the last deck profile, but 2 seems to be a good number right now because you don't want to draw too many of these in the hand. You only want to draw the 1. And if you have 3, you're going to end up drawing 2. But if you only have 1, you don't really have as much chance to draw it. And then we've got 2 copies of Swallow's Nest. Once again, the same thing. You tribute a Winged Beast monster to special summon a Winged Beast monster from your deck with the same level. And the reason why I'm only playing 2 in this deck now is because you don't want to have too many of them in your hand. Also, if you want, you can go with the Small World. If you want, Small World is a great tech card to play in here instead of this. But this is more of a budget version of Small World because Small World is like $10 a piece now. And then we've got your Elbor's Sacred Land of Simorgh. This allows you to get an additional 300 attack and defense for the Winged Beast type monsters, but also allows you to add normal summon an additional turn, so that's going to really help you with the deck. And then we've got Call by the Grave. You know, obviously self-explanatory. Call by the Grave is going to be your hand trap. Then you've got your Double or Nothing, because you are playing Draknor and you're also playing Titanic Galaxy and Utopia in this deck. So this is a very, very important card because you lay over 2 level 4s, you rank into Utopia Double, add this from your hand, and then from here, this can become your fodder. You do not have to use it for the double the attack or whatever. You can just use it as this card fodder for your IP Masquerena, which is what I do, and that's actually how I won a few of the games. And then lastly, obviously one of the best cards in the deck, Harpie's Feather Storm. Now, this card is mandatory. You want to see this in your opening hand, and it sucks because there's really no way to search for it. And there's a reason for that, obviously, because Harpie's Feather Storm just shuts off all of your opponent's monster effects for that turn. And if you control Harpie monster, you can special summon it from your hand. So that's why it's really, really, really good in this deck. Alright, so that's going to be for the main deck, guys. Let's move on to the extra deck. So obviously, you've got your Cyber Slash, your Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, and your Harpie Conductor. This is going to be your 3 Harpie extra deck monsters. This is one of the most important ones, and this one is also second, because this one can go into Zeus. If you're going second and you're able to successfully attack, because this card cannot be targeted, you can actually go into Zeus that same turn and have to be able to have it twice. Instead of having to detach a material at the end phase of the turn, you'll actually have 4 materials for Zeus, being able to activate that effect twice. And then we're going to be playing the Draknor, Titanic Galaxy, Utopia Double, and Utopia Double. This is your Utopia package. So basically, the object is, I've had a lot of people ask questions about this in the comment section, so how this is going to work, so pay attention. You're going to overlay into Utopia Double, okay? Utopia Double is going to activate its effect, which will get you your Double or Nothing. Then from there, you're going to overlay and activate the effect to special summon your Draknor, Utopia Draknor. Okay, so you've got Utopia Draknor on the field. You now have your 3K, which will become 6K. And then on top of that, this will allow you to detach a material, or detach 2 materials, or whatever, to special summon your copy of Titanic Galaxy, which gives you basically your Omni Negate. And that is how you do it. So you'll go from Utopia Double to Draknor to Titanic Galaxy. But keep in mind, though, you can only special summon monsters for the extra turn except for Exceed monsters. And it's very, very tricky how you play this, because when you do play this, if it's at the beginning of your turn, this will lock you into Exceed monsters. So just to give you a heads up and keep that in mind. Then we have Dracosack, because Dracosack is now back, and Dracosack is really good to be able to have this plus 2 tokens, so you can use one of the tokens in this to go into IP Masquerena, and then go from there on your opponent's turn. You'll be able to go into Unicorn, or whatever monster that you would like, just using that as material. Then you've got Abyss Dweller in here, because Abyss Dweller shuts down graveyards. Then you've got your Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, which will become basically not destroyed by battle or by card or destroyed by card effects if you use Link material as a level 7 or higher dragon type monster. So obviously Fearsome Fire Blast in the deck. Then you've got your IP Master, you've got your Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess, you've got your Crusadia Max, and you've got your Unicorn along with your IP Masquerena. So mainly you're going to be summoning IP Masquerena, and then you're going to be going into Unicorn or Crusadia Max, or even if you want Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. So I mean, it just is up to you. So this deck is really, really fun. I love that it has so many tricks, and you do have to actually be somewhat strategic when you're playing with this deck, because of how difficult it is to play with, because you're doing so much stuff at once. It's just crazy, all the stuff that you're going to be doing with the deck. And I've always loved Harpies. Harpies is actually one of my favorite archetypes. And even though we haven't gotten a release, it's still nice to be able to have different ways to update it and everything, and keep it, you know, keep it somewhat strong. And Harpie decks are just a lot of fun to play because it's so crazy how fast you can special summon with these level 4 monsters, and they all work in tandem and all work really well together, which is why you do not have to have a whole lot of monsters in this deck, because it works so well. I mean, just having Chandler and then Perfumer allows you to obviously automatically go into Utopia Double. That's all you need. It's just 2 monsters, and it's very easy to do. Alright, so that's going to be it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching my content. You guys rock, and with that, I'll see you guys next time. Later.